From Southern Illinois and Eastern Virginia, it's the AU Wishbone podcast. John, how are you tonight?
I'm well, Van. How are you?
I am very good. I am your host, Van Allen Plexico. I am joined as always by my co-host.
I'm John Ringer.
John, we are doing a little experiment tonight. We've been planning for a while now to have the show simulcast, as it were, on YouTube, or at least available on YouTube as well as on podcast apps. So we're going to try that tonight. Word for all you guys out there that might stumble across it on YouTube. We are going to ignore you because we're just going to record it like the normal show and post it. But I'm using the live stream feature to do that so that I don't have to go back and edit it and post it myself later. So we are making it a little more hands-free. So if you have great comments, that's awesome. We're not going to be paying any attention to you. Off we go. Sorry about that. But anyway, here we go. It is the AU Wishbone for the August 12th of 2025 program. And of course, the first thing we always do, it's the Auburn Fun Meter. It's our weekly look at how much fun it is to be an Auburn fan right now on a scale of 0 to 10. John, how Auburn fan fun are you finding it? That's a lot of F's. How many F's do you get there? How are you finding it?
I'm finding it fun. Again, I'm hyped. It's preseason. Maybe I'm too optimistic and too excited. We can debate that. Got a big commit last week, so I'm going to say 6.
Yeah. And we're only like 2.5 weeks or something away from actual football.
Oh, yes, we are.
Yeah, we are. Of course, again, it runs right into DragonCon weekend, so I'll be watching it on my phone while I'm talking about, hobbits and crap. But anyway, I'm actually not on any Lord of the Rings panels this year. But we are also, it's just 2.5 weeks from football, and also we are just a week away from the barbecue.
That's right. You smell the smoke,
taste
the flavor. It's coming for us.
Cooking. Something's cooking, and it's barbecue. And that means, for those that don't know, the barbecue show is our biggest show every year, where John and I eat barbecue live on YouTube and on the audio. You just kind of hear the gnarly part of it on audio on YouTube, on the podcast. And it tells us the power of the barbecue compels us to learn and know and share with our audience what the SEC, including Auburn's win-loss records will be. And what's significant is this is the only time all year that we give any win-loss predictions. And when I say prediction, I mean gospel from the barbecue.
That's right.
It's the only time you will hear us give out these numbers. And so it's very, very special. It's very special.
It is special, and it's a fun episode. We will preview every SEC football team and predict their record.
And the barbecue will tell you, so you don't even have to watch the games. Honestly, I mean, you can just just let the barbecue do it all the work.
Straight to Las Vegas with this knowledge.
That's right. Take it to the bank. All right, so that's August 18th, and then August 25 thereabouts is the Baylor preview. A whole Baylor preview for you.
Well, again, we'll have done the barbecue the week before, so this episode will be basically us looking ahead to the first game and previewing our opponent, think how we feel going to that game, what we're worried about, our offense versus their defense versus our offense, and what we think is going to happen, and that's exciting.
More specifics to the barbecue. Yeah, we get into more what'll actually kind of break things down. Yeah, we don't do that on the barbecue. And then we'll be back after that to talk about Baylor. I guess we'll do that on Tuesday because we always end up covering the first game of the year on the following Tuesday because I'll be in the air flying back from Atlanta on Monday evening. And then we have the chicken finger episode. We don't just stop at barbecue anymore. We have expanded into chicken fingers. So tell them about the chicken finger episode.
I'm excited. This will be we've done the barbecue episode for I don't even know, like 12 years or whatever. And the chicken finger episode, this is our second one suggested by the listener. We will imbibe chicken fingers and predict every SEC basketball team's record. Mm-hmm. And that'll happen kind of at the end of September, early October.
Our program skews in on a very small demographic. which is people that love Auburn football and basketball and are willing to listen or watch as two guys eat barbecue or chicken on the air. That's just a demo. That's a talk about narrow casting. That is narrow casting.
It's truth. We need to warn you now. If it bothers you to listen to people eat, then maybe the barbecue episode's not for you.
Not for you. I love when we every year we get a complaint. Somebody's like, y'all are eating on the air. I'm like, that's the point of the show. If you don't like that, this is probably not where you needed to be. Exactly. I agree. All right. So what else is coming up is I think it might be Baylor. Could it be, John? Could it be Baylor Hate Week? Could it be Baylor Hate Week? What do you think? Should I push this button and find out?
I know it's Baylor Hate Week in my heart, but let's go for it.
Well, I would just point out that all right, for those that don't know, and I'm acting like we have a completely new audience this week as opposed to every other week of the show, but
every podcast is somebody's first.
That's right. What we do with Hate Week is when we play non-conference teams, we do some kind of little audio clip just to kind of fire up the rivalry with the non-conference team. It's usually funnier when it's like a cupcake team, like the UMass one. That was fun.
Classic.
That was great. But we do them for the bigger teams too, and they've gotten a little more elaborate lately. So I thought this week the Hate Week would combine Texas, Baylor, right? Baylor being in Waco, Texas, kind of out near the oil supply and everything, right? I combined that with one of my recent interests. So here we go.
It's Baylor Hate Week 2025.
You're f***ing mine.
Auburn.
You're mine. Don't that hurt? I bet it don't hurt as bad as this.
Daddy, be careful.
They're a Big 12 team.
Sir, you should consider that. I don't want to consider it. And you go get in the truck. Your Friday night's over.
Walker White.
Daddy.
Get in the truck.
Call me tomorrow.
No, don't you dare call her tomorrow. Because of you,
Baylor.
I've got lawyers up my so far they can see out of my mouth. Not to mention the sheriff.
And the SEC and the NCAA.
You just put a giant bullseye on this place. You're the one with the problem, bud. I'm not the one with the problem. See, the
SEC
has a satellite above this field now, just waiting to see what kind of stupid you pull next. And then you coming out here trying to shake me down has zero effect on the multi-billion-dollar, multinational
SEC teams
that own and run this. They don't care.
See, this is why we don't want you here. You know, I got a boss too, and he lost millions on.
Our conference TV deal.
He wants it back.
Oh, yeah, they will. They'll care so much that the 1st Cavalry Division of the United States Army will come out here and start playing war games inside a month. You don't know who you're with.
Baylor.
So why don't you just take your licks like a
Mountain West team.
Matter of fact, I got a good idea. How's this? How about you
join a real conference?
How about that?
Okay, it went on a little too long, but I love when you said they're a freaking Big 12 team, and that was just
I know it kind of did go on. I wanted to include everything, though. I needed to include everything. I can pare it down now that we've debuted the whole. That's like the extended cut. We'll get
that's the director's cut version of the Baylor Hate Week. We need the regular commercial version and then the director's cut version. We'll pull that out occasionally, but that was pretty good.
That's the one that comes in the box set, John. That's not the one that you get on the Blu-ray. All right. Yeah, I've been thinking of what I could get on the soundboard from. That was from Landman, of course, with Billy Bob Thornton.
That's pretty good. Pretty good stuff. They're very funny. Thank you for doing that.
All right. That was fun. All right. So let's see. We had a little Baylor update that you wanted to give.
Yeah, just the Baylor update. They had their second string running back, Dawson Pendergrass, was injured and is out for the season. And he's not, nothing. He had 671 yards last year. So a very productive second string running back. So that's just something to keep an eye on as we head that way.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Recruiting is going on. We got a scrimmage report. We got a variety of things, some injuries to talk about, various things. But we got to talk about recruiting here. We picked up an incredible commitment. 4-star receiver, but the consensus seems to be he's only going to get, higher and higher.
Yes.
Probably a lock to be a 5-star, supposed to just be all world, just fantastic receiver, Jace Matthews.
Right. So from Mississippi, a childhood rival to Deuce Knight, and talked about that after his commitment. But this was a big time commitment. Auburn was, waiting to see what happened with, some of these big recruits and commitments decisions in August. And this guy was a big, one of our top targets out of the whole class. And we got him. It was a big commitment ceremony, did the fake out, looked like he was going to commit to Ole Miss and then committed to Auburn. And the crowd didn't love that part.
Oh, that's great. I haven't seen that. I saw him afterward, with Auburn or whatever, but I didn't see them. So I had to go making a mental note to go and watch the ceremony. I always like that. So very good. But yeah, I saw Zach, our friend of the show, Zach Blackerby, and he has that the guy that's like a recruiting guru, especially for the Southeast. And he was saying how he thought this guy is just like, he thought he hung the moon, basically. He's like, he's going to be a 5-star. He's, he's all over the place. He can catch anything, and so I was really excited to hear that. And so How does that translate over into Auburn's rankings, recruiting rankings? Last I checked, we were higher, substantially higher than we were a couple of months ago, but still not great.
No, we're not where we want to be, but we're not 76 in the country either.
Yeah.
We're like 37th, right?
Okay.
But we only have 12 commitments. A lot of other teams have way more.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a huge caveat to it, which is that the teams around us have a lot of 3-star recruits, and that's fine for those programs. They get 3-star players, and that's what they do. We are not ranked that low because we have a bunch of bad players. We are ranked that low because we have really good players, but just not a whole lot of them. It's purely a numbers game right now for us. It's not a ranking. It's not a quality. It's a quantity issue.
That's right. No, a lot of other teams in front of us have 20 commitments. We have 12. So I think we're like 20th in the country, basically an average commitment. So we had some more. We're going to go up.
I was going to say we could run out right now and sign 10 3-star guys probably, and we'd still be lower rated, but lower ranked. But if we keep just bringing in the big ones like we're doing now, when we can get them, we're going to slowly climb. Yeah. So
that's it. And there's a 5-star safety deciding later this week, and it's basically Auburn and Ohio State. So,
Well, again, you don't want to lose all those matchups, but being in them is better than not even being concluded.
That's right.
And then we'll see what happens. If we get him, we get him. That's great. So, yeah. All right. So we had a scrimmage on Friday. I haven't heard more detailed breakdowns since then, but the word I was hearing over the weekend was that the defense dominated. The defense looked really, really, really good. Have you heard similar things and any specifics?
I think, first of all, in every camp, NFL, college, high school, the defense is ahead of the offense, right? That's just where it is and what's happening. So I think that's fine. That's, it's what it is. I'm not worried about it. So I think that our defense is really good, right? So I do think the offense has made some plays during the fall, but I think defense is better. The defensive line has been really good. I think, the offense did make a few plays. I think the kicking game was really good, supposedly. Both field goal kickers and the punter had a good day. McPherson was solid. So we'll see. I mean, I think, Keldrick Falk and Morris Williams, Kieran Crawford, those guys had a big day, which is what we want. We want a great pass rush and that kind of thing. So we'll see. I think the offense had some explosive plays. That's what we know, but there's not a lot of details coming out about everything. We'll see what happens. But I think there's going to be more scrimmages. I think they're doing them on Fridays so that they line up with game days, so that they're scrimmaging at the same, so players get used to basically playing on Friday late.
Mm-hmm.
So
right. All right. Well, I want to address the kicker thing real quick because that's a good point. What I understand is that McPherson is just rock solid from 40 in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just doesn't miss from like 40 in, but he's still gaining his strength back, so he can't kill it from further than that.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking they're going to do is he's not going to kick off. He's just going to go out and do extra points and field goals. And if there's a long field goal, they'll probably send Towns or the Southern Miss guy out to try a longer one. But anything in a normal range is going to be McPherson. And they're also going to have to take care of him, right? I mean, he has to stay hydrated and make sure he's got his meds or whatever and everything good because he's not in, he's still kind of in delicate shape, and we got to get him back full strength as best he can. So, and what he's gone through, good Lord.
Amen.
Good Lord. Bless his heart. So it's just incredible to think that he can go out and play football like that, but it's just absolutely amazing. Okay, so injuries. What's this about Riddick? I hadn't heard that.
I mean, he's been in a non-contact jersey some. I think it's not serious, and they kind of know what they got with him, so maybe they're just being careful, right?
Well, yeah.
And then
that would make sense.
Rayshawn Pleasant, the cornerback transfer, who's also the big kick returner, had been out a couple of weeks, and he's back full speed doing that stuff, so that's a good thing.
Good. All right. Yeah, and apparently the defensive backfield is just, I mean, you touched on that a minute ago, but they're just apparently killing it. They're apparently just the strongest unit on the field. So, and we've talked about that all year about how like a couple of guys left, not because they were bad, but just because they knew how much better it was going to be.
And they weren't going to play. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're really good, that ain't good enough right now, apparently. So, whew, all right. Well, that'll work. And I'd love to be able to shut Baylor's passing game down like that. That would be excellent.
They'd make me happy. Again, if we went in there and our defense really dominated them, I'd feel pretty good about that.
3-2, I'll take it. Let's get out of Waco with a 3-2 win. I'll take it and I'll roll the tree in front of my house. 3-2, man. I'll throw a party. That's fine. All right. It's what's left to review in our off-season review.
So we went through every single position ranking for every single spot on the roster. So what I wanted to do with this last roundup is to talk about which positions we feel best about and which we're least about. And so I went through and I ranked every position on the team, including special teams, and basically I ranked them from like 1 to 9, which is and my thinking is like the positions at the top are like rock solid. We feel really good about this, very confident that we will be productive. We have good talent and good depth. And we're going to be good there, and that we could stack up with the top best teams in the conference. And the teams at the lower end of this, like maybe we'll do that, but I'm far less certain of it. Right. So that's kind of my thought. Yeah. So, and so I'm going to go through the ranking, and then Van is going to tell me where he agrees or disagrees.
I like it.
So number 1 at the top is the secondary. As Van just said, I think we have a lot of talent. We got a lot of depth. We got a lot of competition there. Guys who are playing really hard just to get playing time.
Yeah.
Some very talented people are not going to play in Auburn secondary, but we got multiple guys who are really good. The cornerbacks are going to create problems to other teams. Safeties are good. Number 2, the wide receivers.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think that the team is in a position where the receivers are not number 1. That's amazing. Wow.
But also, like, how many Auburn teams would these receivers be number one on? Like a lot.
Oh yeah.
So they're really strong. We know they're good. We know they're going to make plays. We know we got difference makers there, and they got depth. So it's all of those things. So I think those two are kind of off by themselves. And then we get to where we have to think about it a little bit more. I put number 3, I put the defensive line. I think it was a little bit of a question mark heading into camp, but I think we have a lot of talent and a lot of depth. I think we got a lot of young guys who could play, and we got some transfers in who could play. I think we're going to be fine there. Number 4, offensive line.
That amazes me that it's all the way up to number 4, but okay.
This is John's opinion. Other people may have it way down the list. I'm interested. I'm open to that. But I think this offensive line has a lot of experience and a lot of proven guys who have played a lot at the power conference level. And I think they're going to be better. And I think we have depth. We have, for the first time in forever, we probably have 15, 16, 17 guys who could, who are legitimate at SEC roster offensive linemen. That's insane.
Yeah, and it's just amazing that it's taken us this long to get back to that.
Yeah. So this is the kind of thing I think about. Like I was reading, there's a guy that writes for The Athletic named Dane Brugler, and he does like an NFL position by position preview of here's the college players I think are good potential future draft picks in this. And he talks about seniors and he talks about draft eligible juniors. At interior offensive line, his number 1 prospect in the entire country is Connor Lew.
Wow.
Holy okay. Cow. And he had both of our guards in the top 10 and all 3 of our tackles in the top 15.
That's incredible.
Including 2 tall.
Wait, Albie made this list?
No. So this is the part where I'm like, this guy's not an Auburn person. He's like an NFL, a college person.
It wasn't even Cole Kubelik that made it.
So a lot of talent on the offensive line. And so I think I'm just putting it out there. I think they're going to be better, and I feel pretty good about them.
I hope so.
I put special teams 5th. They were big, we're getting a little uncertainty here, but I'm optimistic. I think
this is where I've really got question mark. You have the special teams ahead of the running backs.
Okay, that's fair. Probably the running backs probably should be ahead of special teams just because we have 2 guys we know can play, right?
Yeah. And 2 guys we highly suspect, and 1 guy we're hopeful. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I think the UConn guy could play.
Yes.
And we got 2 guys we know can play. Then we got some freshmen that we feel pretty good about. So, okay, that's fair. Probably running back should be next. And then special teams. And again, special teams is, I think the coverage units and the return units are going to be much better.
I hope so.
And I think the kickers, as we've been talking about, I feel pretty good about that. We're in a better place. Yeah. Then I put linebackers. Again, I think there's enormous amount of talent here. Recruiting talent, this is probably the most talent we've had at linebacker in 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of very experienced linebackers last year. And when teams are running the ball at us and doing tricky stuff, you forget we had our guy who was everywhere. We had Dorian Mousey and Austin Keys.
I don't have the audio of that anymore.
They were very reliable. They were in the right spot. Because they were experienced.
Eugene. He's there. He's everywhere.
So Eugene was everywhere, and you forget, he wasn't the fastest guy or the most athletic guy, but he knew where he was supposed to be, and he was going to, as fast as he possibly could, and being in that spot every time. And we have guys that are super fast now, but they may be running this way when they're supposed to be running that way. And there's going to be some times at the beginning of the year where we give up some plays because of that. I think in the long run, we're going to be fine. But in the short term, I'm just cautious that I put quarterbacks.
Now, see, all right. This is what really surprised me is that quarterbacks next to last.
I'm not, again, this is a ranking of how confident I am in that position. Are we better than last year? 100%.
Yes.
Definitively better.
Yes.
Am I more
But we don't-
confident in them than the running backs?
No, that's fair.
You tell me what number would you put the quarterbacks?
I would have running backs 5, special teams 6, quarterbacks 7, linebackers 8.
Okay, that's fair. Very fair.
And you know, just seeing Auburn's running backs down at number 6.
Blasphemy!
They can prove it. But I also think like that we have a lot of good running backs. I don't think right now, I don't believe we have a superstar in there.
No, I don't think so.
And again,
one could emerge.
No, and 100% correct. And the other thing I want to say about the quarterbacks is this is about the position as a whole. We're way better depth-wise than we were a year ago. But last year we had one player we trusted to play at an SEC game, and the other 3 we didn't trust at all.
Yeah. And
now we have 3 guys that I think could play at an SEC game if they, definitely our backup can. And I think Deuce Knight could, for a home game, I think he could play an SEC game and be okay.
If something happens to Arnold, the Stanford guy, I'm never going to learn his name. The Stanford guy,
Ashton Daniels.
Yeah, and that makes me think of Robbie Ashford, and then I just get all confused. Daniels, he's the one I keep hearing throws interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
It's like every report out of camp is, well, the quarterbacks look good, but Daniels threw an interception. That's like every day. And I'm just thinking now, you remember how we said instead, when we were mad at Stan White back in the early 90s, we said, just take Stan out, put Patrick Nix in there and run the Wishbone. It's kind of where our whole Wishbone thing came from originally, kind of in a way. I'm like, if something happens to Arnold, he doesn't work out or he gets hurt or something, God forbid, just put Deuce out there and put those running backs out there and run the Wishbone, man.
Again, Daniels is a good runner. This is me saying put him out there and just run the ball.
Yeah, exactly. There were times last year I thought we could have done that, and we talked about why we didn't. So,
and then last on this ranking, I have the tight ends. It's about overall depth and talent at the position, but also like how much I trust them right now. So,
well, and then they're also out getting arrested and stuff too. So that doesn't help.
There you go.
Does not help. So, all right. Got a book update. In fact, if you'd fill for 2 seconds.
This is me filling. And Van's back.
I'm back. I just wanted to run around the corner because since we are doing YouTube now, as of tonight, again, here is the book. Pretty thick tome there.
This is a great audio moment.
Yeah.
Van shows the book on camera.
Yeah. All they did was win the 2010 team. And the Kickstarter ended pretty much beginning of August, end of July. So if you're still wanting a copy at this point, you're going to have to like wait until into the fall for when it's in on Amazon and in bookstores and stuff. Hopefully we'll get to do some kind of a book signing and book sale at one of the Auburn bookstores either this fall or early spring or something, probably some basketball related weekend. But just to let the folks know that did get the book through Kickstarter, I've now mailed out a bunch of them. So there's probably, I think maybe 40 shipments left to go. And so then we'll be done. We had one of our great listeners actually bought books for like a whole bunch of his either high school or Auburn, maybe bandmates or classmates, and sent me a spreadsheet with all the addresses and everything in it. And so I got all those done today. So that's on its way. That's one good package. I'm like, yeah, that was great. So that was one line item though. I'd been, like one book is a line item, but this was 9 books were a line item to knock out. So that's one line. But anyway, that was awesome. So we appreciate that. And that's on the way. And again, I will be a guest at Dragon Con again this year. So if you're in the Atlanta area, if you go to Dragon Con, it is the biggest pop culture fan convention in North America every year. It's about the same number of people in the hotels in downtown Atlanta as fit in Jordan-Hare Stadium on a good weekend, about 85,000. And in the Marriott Marquis, the Hyatt Regency, the Westin Peachtree, the big glass cylinder, the Hilton, and the Cortland Grand, formerly the Sheraton, and the America's Mart. And I will be in America's Mart Building 2 on the 4th floor at Comic and Pop Artist Alley. So if you are looking, I'll have a few of these books with me. So if you're an Auburn person that goes to Dragon Con, and there are several, I always see a few Auburn folks. I've seen Auburn Elvis there a few times and a few others. If you show up there, you want to pick up a book, you can just come right up and I'll hook you up. So, but I only have a few, so get there, get a hold of me early. But that's Labor Day weekend in Atlanta, 4th floor of the Merchandise Mart, America's Mart. All right. I was going to do the Fantasy Formula 1. Oh, wait, I did get in. All right. I had a hard time logging in, but here are our Fantasy Formula 1 standings. One of the many things you get to do as a patron for our program, if you go to www.auwishbone.com, and become a patron, click on the big orange button. If you do that, one of the things you get to do is you can be part of our Fantasy Formula 1 League. And so here are the current top 10 in our Fantasy Formula 1 League. Michael Kirshner's Formula MK2 is dominating. He is pulled out to like a 450-point lead. He's got McLaren and Mercedes both, and it's just ridiculous. It's not fair. He's treating the rest of us like unarmed opponents. Dang it, Michael. One of my teams, War Eagle Racing, is in second. Lane Middleton's non-offensive name 2025 in third. My other team, Scuderia Plexico Rosso, is in fourth, and then Mandy Thompson's All Burnout up in fifth. Way to go. Sixth is Brett Wiggins, moving up to sixth. Wiggins Team Racing. Eric Morgan dropped to seventh with Mississippi Racing 2. John Stubbs Pearl's Pit Crew at 8. Michael Kirshner's other team, Formula MK, is 9. And Brett Wiggins, Wiggerber Motorsport, is at number 10. The contest is only at the halfway point right now. The Formula One is at the halfway break. They always stop after Hungary and take a couple of weeks off, and they'll be back for Zandvoort in the Netherlands coming up in a few weeks. So, all right, let's see. We did our review of the best win from each season, and we got all the way up to the present. So what are you thinking of now?
I just wanted to take a minute to look back at that and see what did we learn from doing that exercise. It was really fun. We went through 5-year chunks at a time and picked the best win from each season, which wasn't always easy. Some years it was blindingly obvious, and some years it was really hard to say this or that because we were really good or really bad. That's true. And so I just wanted to think about what stood out to you? It seemed like to me we picked Texas A&M and Florida way more than I thought we would.
Yeah, I think that back in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, Florida was the team we would upset. You know what I mean? More than normal. And I think in more recent years, when we haven't been that great, Texas A&M has been the team we've upset more than average. So, I think those two teams have had a disproportionate opportunity to. And John has frozen up. I don't know what happened.
I'm fine. Keep going.
All right, let's see. I'll see if I can bounce you here in a second and bring you back in. If I knock you out, just come right back. All right, let's see. Did you have any other thoughts about that?
I think we picked a lot of non-conference games early, but later not so many. Again, because we didn't have any some wins, but also even the Oregon and Washington games, I don't think we picked those in those seasons.
Yeah. Well, and another thing that was interesting was there were some years we had too many to pick. It was hard to choose one.
Yes.
And other years,
we picked some bad games.
Was Alabama State? How were they? They were pretty good that year, weren't they? Yeah. So Jacksonville. Yeah. So all right, hold on, John. I'm gonna bounce, and then let's see if we can. Uh-oh. And now John has gone pitch black.
I'm here.
All right. You want to continue as the man in black? Or do you want to
just keep rolling?
All right. Okay. All right. We have what you have the patrons only SEC Weekly Pick'em contest.
Yes, this is a request coming back that we will do a weekly pick the SEC games contest during the season. It'll start in week 1 when SEC play starts. So I'm going to send out an email to the patrons in the next week or so, and you have to get your picks in before that Friday night Auburn game starts. And whoever we're just not doing it against the spread. We're doing straight up pick the winners, and whoever gets the most correct over the course of the season is the winner. So we did this, before. It was fun. We look forward to doing it again. It's kind of a weekly thing. Very easy to do, the interface we use. So I think it won't take a lot of time. And I look forward to seeing how we do against the patrons.
Yeah, that'll be great. That'll be great. So just yet more reasons to run right out. And I can't get John to light up here. I'm this is another one of those great moments where I have to actually do something on the air. But here we go. All right. So speaking of the patrons, this is where we have to thank them for all that they do to keep our program going. And they went to www.auwishbone.com. And I'm trying to get it to where I can see their entire messages, but I cannot. So I just have to trust they're in the right order here, because we have to thank the following. And I'm going to try to get through this. I had a horrible cold last week, and so we had a short show. I'm going to try to get through it this week. Let's see how I do. It may ruin me again, but here we go. We have to thank the great Samuel Salvatore, who always points out, and it's not long now.
Tonight's forecast, a freeze is coming.
With pearl white snow. Ben Spooner, who points out that having Auburn's running back so low is
blasphemy.
That's true. Carl Von Drunker, Chris and Clinton Stewart. Logan Chilton asks, what do you sacrifice to be an Auburn fan?
So what do I sacrifice?
Indeed.
Everything.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Mark Brown loves Auburn because...
Scott Wilson.
That's right. Let's see. Ann Pridgeon, Bradley Blackman, David WDE Salmons, Esquire, Earl Ricks, Eric Morgan, Gary Grant, a.k.a. AU fan at KSC, Auburn Intramural Championship League softball champion spring quarter 1986 and spring 1987. Wow. All right. Everybody's rolling out their credentials. I'm enjoying this. Harry, I was on several intramural teams, including softball, but we didn't win anything. Harry Zager, I dragged him down. Matt Flowers, Michael Kirster, Phil Amthor, and it's too bad we're not going to get to see this. I think you sabotaged your camera on purpose so that we wouldn't get to see your dramatic reenactment of...
No, I'm devastated. I'm devastated, and they're celebrating right in front of me. This is the worst. This is the worst. No.
We all missed a treat there. It's too bad. Richard Stevens, Shane Bailey, Steve Trevick, Susan Trevick, Trombone Tiger. If you want to pop out and pop back in, I'm not going to object, honestly. Trombone Tiger, Willie Carden, William Morgan, Wynn from Norman, Oklahoma. With no Auburn sports going on, if Carol Shelby could see me, he would say,
I don't speak Italian, but he ain't happy.
That's the truth. Few more patrons left, then back to the authorities. Auburn football's Elvis, Ben Bloodworth, Brandon Smith, Chad McDowell, Chris Hilton, Chris Thrash, Dan Thompson, Daniel Odom, defending fantasy F1 drivers and manufacturers champion Lane Milton. I believe Lane was in third place now, so he's split right between my two teams. Hello, misery, my old friend.
Yeah, that's a pretty bold statement. You know what I mean? It's factual.
It is. H-Town, Danny, In-Home Hugh, Jacob and Robin Fleming, Jeff Hunter, Catherine England, Luther and Kelly Ottaway, Mickey B. And then we have the
I'm afraid that my condition has left me cold to your pleas of mercy.
This will probably get bumped off of YouTube. It'll just suddenly be quiet. They'll be like, why has it got quiet right now? No one fights like Gaston. Of course, our football players don't wear glasses. It's a contact sport.
Wait right there. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Well, I called the tinnitus helpline and there was no answer. It just kept ringing.
You called the what? Dang it. Do it again.
I called the tinnitus helpline. But there was no answer. It just kept ringing.
Oh my gosh.
I'm giving the assist to Jared with that one.
Wow. That's it took me a minute to get what you were saying, but then I'm just like, I wish I hadn't gotten it. All right. Algorithm and Blues, Reynolds Wolf, Rhodesian Mudflap, plus Rich Reimer, Rusty Owen, Steve Harlan, Theodore Gary, Todd Robinson, Wade Ward, War Eagle always, WD Richie is ready for football season, aren't we all? Wes Atkinson, what do Russian kings order on their pizzas? Sardines. Oh gosh, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel with some of these. Winston Body, Woody the Jag, the official 2024 Bowl Mania champion. A place that makes okay products is a satisfactory. Good gosh.
Oh, wow.
I wish we could see John's reaction.
It's better.
ABB. You don't. That's true. I'm trying to make it through here, y'all. We're about halfway through and I'm struggling already. Let me get a drink here. Antoine Morris, Auburn Blue, Blake Heron, Boris the Tiger. By the way, Boris the Tiger is away on special assignment right now, but he will be back probably next week. Charles Mooney, Construction Tiger, David D. And that does not mean somebody has to mail him back in a UPS box, which has happened previously, to be fair. It would not be the first time Boris the Tiger has gotten shipped back home in a box, but he did travel with a whole lot of cool Auburn gear, so he was happy to do that. David D., David Simpson, Dr. Crackham, Josh Teal, Kevin Mahan, Melissa Blackstone, Papa Todd, Patrick Williams says the AU Wishbone. Well, you know what it is, John? It is simply...
Whether you like it or not, learn to love it because it's the best thing going today.
Woo! Woo! Philip Martin, Randall Walker, Rob Morgan, Russell Milling, Sarah Hines, Sasquatch, the reigning basketball bracket champion. You know, John, I just learned today that Sasquatch is also the 6-time and. It just goes to show you not everything fits in there. Stephen Houston, Tim Pittman, Timothy, Tony Perry, Tyler Ward. Walt is ready to be heard again. Bring on the 2025 football campaign. Walt, I hear you. I know what you mean. Wardham SEC champions. Ooh, my voice is getting ragged. Wiggeberg 2005 Auburn University Intramural Horseshoes champion. That's awesome. After Trump jailed him, Elon Musk escaped from Alligator Alcatraz, but was eaten. See you later, Elon Gator. There you go. Alex Browns, Alex Wynn, AU Falling Up, Ben Amos, Ben Rigas, Bobby Polite, Chris Como, and finally, Chris Braun, Clay Henson, college equestrian expert, Auburn Elvis, CT Tiger, Daniel Witten, Darren Pyle, David Garner, David Smiley, Elizabeth Donald, insert name here, bottom text. I'll buy this for $1. You know, they just reviewed RoboCop on the rewatchables last week, and they were talking about that line, and I was like, we've had a patron use that name since we started, I think. Yeah. James Taylor, Jim McCrory, Jim Myers, John Otsuki, John Stubbs, Joey Miller, Justin Bean, Kenneth Brent Raines, the barbecue. The barbecue.
You have failed me for the last time.
AKA Auburn Dead for Life. Mark Squire, MVP, captivating Kathy Bright.
You don't have any friends. Nobody likes you.
And that's so untrue. We're going to be seeing Kathy in Atlanta at Dragon Con very soon. Can't wait to see Kathy. Always fun to hang out with Kathy and hopefully Jared and Alan and everybody else. Maybe some new folks. New York Tiger. Oh, geez. Really? I'm reading this one under protest, okay? New York Tiger loves nipples because without them, boobs would be pointless. But you know what?
Yeah, that's a pretty bold statement. You know what I mean? It's factual.
To which I say,
But thankful I'm not on camera at the moment.
I looked at that line and I said,
You don't want it, and you may not win it.
That's right. Paul Bankson, Peter Wang, Rich Hammett, Royce Alvarez, Russell Souther, Ruth, and Darren Sutherland. Spanky being at bottom of this list is like
the 11 a.m. Jefferson Pilot time slot of death.
An oldie but a goodie. I'm glad he brought it back for us. Stephen Thompson, Steve Bailey, the Slinko family, Tim Sauls, Trevor Johnson, Trey Jackson, Chris, and our one-time and anonymous donors, though we haven't had, I don't think, any of those in a while. Everybody's sort of settled into their routine, and it's nice and it's reliable, and I appreciate it. They went to www.auwishbone.com. And now, John, you know what time it is. It is,
What time is it?
Clearly, it's not that time. It must be this other time. I had the wrong folder open. There we go.
Hello, Van, John, the rest of the AU Wishbone family. This is Jared Ulrich, the yard sale artist, here with Guess the Game number 159. Guess the Game 159 is brought to you by Nicholas Cottrell. Let's see what Nicholas sent in.
His first punt of the night. He'll take the snap, and he drops it. And he's going to try and kick it. He can't do it. Auburn picks up the ball. Trey Smith, touchdown Auburn. Touchdown Auburn. Touchdown Auburn. Picked it up, ran it in.
Okay, guys, I will see you in the hint file.
All right, well, we know what that is. That's easy. Right, that's Trey Smith when Florida punted in 2006. That was the Pontiac game-changing play of the year right there.
He flipped into the end zone.
Yeah, did the flip. That's exactly that. I actually flew. I just moved. I had just like 2 weeks earlier or something moved to Illinois to start my job here. And by the way, I'm glad that Jared went with that one and that we ended up keeping it for a week because this was one that we would have had last week if I wasn't so sick. But this is the perfect segue because that happened like 2 weeks after I moved to Illinois to take the job I have now. And this today was opening week faculty meetings for the fall semester of what will be my 20th year here.
Wow, look at that. Nice.
That's pretty cool, right? Yeah. So
That's
yeah,
very nice.
This year that we start today is my 20th at Southwestern Illinois. And I'd barely been here a month when I got on a plane, flew to Birmingham. I'd never done that. I just wanted to try it and see how it worked out, and it did not. It was terrible. I flew from St. Louis because here's the thing, right? It would have to drive to Auburn would have taken me about 9 hours. Okay. I had to drive an hour or whatever to the airport in St. Louis and then get there a couple of hours early. So that's 3 hours. And then an hour and a half, 2 hours on the plane, something like that. So now you're at 5, rent a car, drive from Birmingham to Auburn. Now you're at like 7, 8 by the time you get the car and everything. I could have just driven in about the same amount of time. Yeah. But you don't always think it through when you're young and foolish, so 20 years ago. But I've never done it since. That's the only time I've ever flown into Birmingham. And Lord willing, it's the last
direct flight from St. Louis to Birmingham?
Yeah, there was one. I don't remember. It was like they had to stop and put the insecticide on the cornfield before they after they took off.
I was going to say.
They had to dust the crops on the way, but yeah. All right, so I think we pretty well know what
Let's
this
finish up here. Our guess the game.
Yeah, here's the hint.
Here we are on the hint file. Let's give it another listen.
His first punt of the night. He'll take the snap, and he drops it. And he's going to try and kick it. He can't do it. Auburn picks up the ball. Trey Smith, touchdown Auburn. Touchdown Auburn. Touchdown Auburn. Trey Smith picked it up, ran it in.
Okay, guys, I'll see you in the answer file.
You got to love those occasions where Rod turned into Jim Fife.
Mm-hmm.
He was just channeling Jim Fife there. And I was just so happy that before he was done on this mortal coil, Rod Bramblett quit, kind of get away from Jim and embraced him. You know what I mean? He I think Rod at first thought, I'm not supposed to do the same things that Jim did. And I got that 100%. I understood it. But it had become not a Jim Fife thing so much as an Auburn thing. And so when he didn't do it, it didn't feel right. So when Rod started doing the Jim Fife thing, it was him doing the Auburn thing, and it felt right again. So I love that. All right, let's make sure we're right here.
All right, Van John, you guys more than likely pieced together that this is Auburn, Florida from 2006, which I know we've done that game on this show before. I can't remember if we've done this play or not, but you know me, if I can't remember, we're doing it. So thanks to Nicholas Cottrell for sending that in. It's a wonderful reminder of a great game. If you'd like to be like Nicholas and send in a play for Guess the Game, I can be found at Yard Sale Artist on X, Facebook, and Instagram. It is all at Yard Sale Artist. Or you can email me at Jared, that's JARROD, at theyardsaleartist.com. Until next time, Van John.
I agree with Jared. I can't remember either if we've done that specific play. I want to say that maybe we did like a sack on their quarterback or Trey Blackman, something like that maybe. So I feel like we've done that game before, but maybe not that particular play. And that was the biggest play of the year that year. So 2006. All right. Let's see. I guess we go straight on to.
Thank you. Order. Questions to the Prime Minister.
It's time for listener questions. Dun, 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 on the AU Wishbone podcast.
All right, Black Rectangle. What's in the mailbag tonight?
All right. First emails from frequent emailer Win Carroll. The subject line is question for the Prime Minister.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, apologies in advance for the format. I've nearly figured out John's reading pattern.
I love it. Let's hear it.
All right.
Let's do it.
Just buckle up. Here we go. Gentlemen, having just shut down the great Norman karaoke institution, Bison Witches, with Alabama's greatest non-Auburn product, Hank Williams, I was struck with a question admittedly more appropriate for your colleague, Clint Richardson.
Okay.
However, as our alma mater's resident historians, feel free to use this as an opportunity to plug your latest work afterwards. I'm curious to hear your responses. Well, as of this writing, and if your listeners can affect change in this instance, please take action. A Jackson Arnold replica jersey is frustratingly currently unavailable for me to taunt my fellow Normanites. Nike Cam Coleman kits are available both online and in-store at a reputable national chain. Since these are the young man days, the good days, the all-or-nothing NIL days, let us imagine you wanted to represent an Auburn player in an authentic Russell, Under Armour, or Nike uniform, complete with the last name on the back. Who would be in your top three? While it seems silly, this particular fashion for fashion-conscious millennials like myself, who not only appreciate obscurity, from Patrick Ewing to Andre Galarraga, but also what the player represents. Hence, you don't see a lot of John Rocker jerseys these days.
Yeah.
So aside from the Mount Rushmore of Auburn, Bo, Cam, Sir Charles, or Frank Thomas, which three players would you get an authentic replica jersey if you had the available money and millennial drive to do so, since housing and childcare are not realistic financial goals for any of us to invest our money? I'll hang up and listen. Win from Norman.
I love. There's all kinds of interesting commentary woven into that. It's always a pleasure when Win like does an essay in the question. You know, I like it. It's fun. I got to point out though, the one great flaw in this is that I am repeatedly told on social media that it is unlike every other sport. Okay, unlike every other sport, it is frowned upon to wear a jersey of your college football team.
I would say that from personal experience, the only team this is exempt from this is Ohio State. Like their fans wear jerseys of players, current and former.
Why do we do that to ourselves? And well, you know what? There's one exception. Bo, you see 34s.
Yeah.
You see 34s in the stadium and all around, but
all right, but and I agree, like it's not cool or whatever to wear a jersey. Forget all that for the moment. We're going to answer Wynn's question. If you had to pick 3 Auburn players to wear their jersey,
all right,
who would you pick? And you can't pick Bo, Cam, Charles, or Frank Thomas.
I've had one for 25 years now.
Damian Craig.
In my closet. Damian Craig, number 16, right? So Damian Craig is a lock. Absolutely. He was my favorite player until I guess Cam just kind of said, you know, how can you not, you know, but so Damian Craig is one. Who would you, let's go back and forth and we'll draft. Who do you take?
This is me. I'm taking defensive players.
Yeah.
Carlos Rogers.
Ooh, good one. Nice. All right.
I also might have to take Carnell too because I love Carnell.
Yeah, 24 is a good one. Did you know, I saw this on Facebook or something yesterday, when Jackson Arnold, assumingly he is our starting quarterback, he will be our first starting quarterback number 11 since Stan White in 1993.
Okay, I'm in for that.
I went down the list when I read that, and I named every quarterback and their number that was a starter for any amount of time. And yeah, we haven't had an 11. We've had every other number, obviously no 7, but we've gone as low as 6 with Jeremy Johnson and as high as 18 with Kobe.
Low as 2.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Yeah, duh. 2. Right. In terms of consecutive numbers, yeah, we had 2 Cam, 6 Jeremy Johnson, no 7 obviously because of Sullivan, and then we've had 8 Stidham up to 18 for Cody Burns. I don't think we've had a 19 or higher that was a starter since Stan White. Maybe, I mean, there was the 122, remember? The baseball player that was 22?
Gabe Gross?
Yeah, Gabe Gross, but he was only a starter for like 2 games or something. He wasn't like a consistent starter. So anyway, all right. So you said Carlos Rogers and maybe Caddy. I like that. I'm going to get 16, and then I'm probably going to get 2. Well, I can't get 2. All right.
Pick some else.
Dang it. Oh man, number 1 sure did get tainted, didn't it? It was a great number for a while there.
Could be a good number again this year. I'm just laying it out there.
Yeah. Who's number 1 this year?
Singleton. Oh,
okay. I heard that several of our defensive line people have changed to single digits this year. That'll be interesting because they're usually like 98, 99, you know. Lionel James, number 6.
Ooh.
Would be fun.
I like that.
All right. What's your third one? I feel like I need to take a receiver number. Get me a high number. Yeah, I think yeah. I think I might take 81 for Frank Sanders.
I like that. I'm thinking about 74 for
Tracy
Rocker. I'm thinking about Derek Brown.
Oh yeah, he had a single digit, didn't he? What, he like 9 or something, or something like that? Or 5. He was 5. That's right. his buddy on the line was 3, and he was
Marlon
5.
Davidson was 3.
Marlon Davidson was 3, and Big Cat was 1. So he had 1, 3, and 5. That was talk about a single-digit defensive line. That was a good one.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Derek Brown 5.
Okay, I like it. That's good. And then if something happens, you can just say it's like if you get caught doing drugs, you can say it's actually Michael Dyer. All right. Anything else in the mailbag?
Oh yeah, no, that was question 1.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm making you feel left all night.
Question 2. We've already answered this, but I want to put it in here because it was from RVA World Tour. It says, usually every season I have an idea about which positions are the weak spots. This season, I don't really have a feel for that. Maybe inexperience of the secondary. Any ideas? And I think we went through which positions are.
Yeah, tight end was already kind of iffy, and then now it's gotten super iffy. So, which is unfortunate because that's a position that Freeze does have a reputation as developing pretty well.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine there in the long run. But in the short term, I think we are going to play tight ends less. We're going to play fewer tight ends, less amounts, more multiple receiver formations, multiple running backs, that kind of thing.
I'm going to say we've got enough players at other positions to fill in just fine.
That's right.
That's right.
All right. Next email from Paula Perkins, and the subject line is All They Did Was Win. She says, hey guys, I received my copy of All They Did Was Win last week. I didn't have much of an opportunity till I got to it on Saturday. I made it to chapter 8 before needing to watch the LSU game. That season, unfortunately, I did not have season tickets. It was in between tailgates. My buddy and I were prepared to watch the LSU game at a local bar, so to Tumors we went. While waiting in line and ready to order, my phone rings with a call from my cousin who had 2 tickets available if I wanted them. Boy, did 2 girls sprint their way back to Jordan-Hare. We were able to witness that magnificent game. I had forgotten just how unbelievable Cam was. He and Bo were the only 2 guys I've ever just been in awe of their talent. The speed and ease with which he both moved and navigated the field. Brilliant. It's a shame Michael Dyer didn't work out. What a talent. With all that being said, the book is so great. I have a feeling I will have it finished by this Saturday. Every Auburn fan should have it for their collection. I love it. Have a great day, and War Damn Eagle.
Paula, wow, that's a great. I appreciate that. That's a great feeling to know that we did something that people like. So at least one.
That's right.
So that's
all right. Next email is from frequent emailer Bill Miner, who says, hey guys, I know we're all excited for the barbecue show soon and the chicken tender show, and you guys discussing delicious food gave me a great question for you. Say an angel investor gave you a blank check to open and run a restaurant in Auburn. What would you do? What would the name be? What would be on the menu? Where would it be near campus? Or would you just buy an existing one and change nothing?
Wow. I mean, if we were to make our own, like the Wishbone Grill.
Well, but say you could make any kind of restaurant in Auburn. What kind of place would you make and where would you make it?
I mean, it's so hard for me not to want chicken fingers and barbecue, but that's what Auburn's already got. So, but that's the cuisine I would want to provide to the people. I'd want to provide superior quality barbecue and chicken fingers. You could get a franchise of Iron Sheik's Chinese and Chinese food and barbecue that he had in Atlanta. I just love the idea of Chinese food and barbecue in one place. I don't know
about that, but I mean, in this scenario where somebody else is putting the bill for the whole thing, I would open up a sports bar near campus. It's a primo location and have big screens and good food and wonderful beverages. Make it a fun, family-friendly place.
The place you'd have to use either get a franchise from or use it as your model is Taco Mac in Atlanta. And now it's been 20 years now, obviously, as we were just talking about, since I lived there. But I used to go to Taco Mac every weekend because it was like if Buffalo Wild Wings was good.
Ding, ding.
Bigger than Buffalo Wild Wings and better food and a lot more beer.
Yes.
They had everything.
But also just an easy, relaxing place to watch a game and eat some decent food.
Yes. Oh, perfect. Where would you want to put it out on the road, like supper club?
Again, if there's money is no object, I want to put it walking distance to campus.
Yeah, to the stadium, right down there.
That's right.
Oh, that'd be great. All right, angel investor, call us up. Give us a call.
We'll hire some famous chef to make the chicken fingers. All right. Last question's from Danny Flack, who says, and the subject line is any given Saturday. He says, hey, Van and John, I want to get your take on the next Netflix series, Any Given Saturday, a season review of the 2024 regular season. Some possible subjects could include, number one, rank how the SEC coaches came across from this guy is awesome to what a phony, what a jerk. Number two, there's been some chatter about why some schools chose not to let the cameras in the dressing rooms according to team meetings, some notable exclusions. What is your opinion? Better to participate or hide? Number three, how do you think Auburn came across? We had some limited screen time. I thought it was pretty balanced. Number four, how did Hugh Freeze come across? For me, I give him an 8 out of 10. And number five, how does Vandy find a helmet big enough to fit Diego Pavia and his huge ego?
Yeah.
War Eagle, H-Town Danny.
H-Town, awesome. Let me ask you this. All right, so this is basically like Drive to Survive, Formula One Drive to Survive for the SEC. Has it already aired?
Yes, it's out. I have not seen it, so this is why we're not answering these questions.
On what channel?
Netflix.
It's on Netflix, not SEC Network?
Yep.
So it really is Drive to Survive. That's crazy. All right. Let me make a note, and then I can say it is noted. So this is, what's it called? SEC?
Any Given Saturday.
Any Given Saturday, and it's on Netflix.
So we'll watch and we'll come back. We'll give you opinions.
Yeah. All right. Glad to know. I just don't keep track of everything well enough, I guess. So that was the last question?
That's it.
All right. Let's take a trip around the SEC. Don't really do the song anymore. And besides, YouTube would have kicked it out if we did. So, yeah, you have a very good reminder here that just open one of your Safari browser pages on your phone or whatever and go to that lsufootball.net page and TV schedule, and you can get it lists every game and what channel it's going to be on and what time and what day and everything.
Every week for the whole year. It's a great resource. LSUfootball.net, wonderful resource.
It's the only good thing I'll ever say about LSU other than food.
And I went in here and did this because week 0 is Saturday, August 23rd. 12 days away from this moment, probably 11 days away from when you're listening to this podcast.
Lord.
Iowa State versus Kansas State, noon, ESPN that day. Fresno State at Kansas, 6:30 p.m. on Fox. UC Davis at Mercer, future Auburn opponent, 7 p.m. ESPN on Eastern time. And then Stanford at Hawaii, 7:30 p.m. on CBS.
Okay. I'm trying to bring up, but it opened some kind of weird thing. All right, here we go.
I see it.
LSUfootball.net, and you can just see all the games and the times and the channels by the day listed.
I look at it every week, multiple times during football season.
Oh, yeah.
Multiple times a week, I'm looking at that page.
There it is. And, I mean, we got some good games early this year for once.
Yes, we do.
Nice. I keep it as an icon right there. So I can pop it open whenever I need to year round. All right. And then, it's funny. Every year I say, this year I'm going to make it through the Pac-12 after midnight or whatever. I never do. Are they going to have I guess it's going to be the Big Ten after midnight.
Well, or the Mountain West after midnight. It'll be like
Yeah.
Boise, San Jose State kicking off at 9:30.
So I didn't really pay attention to this last year. I didn't think about it. The Big Ten teams that used to be in the Pac-12, Are they going to play like at 11 o'clock at night, or do they have to play earlier in the day because
They
in the
have
Big
to play
10?
earlier.
Oh, that sucks. Just nothing good about it. I don't like it at all. I really, people are saying, oh, the money is ruining college football, NIL, the portal, transfer portal, all that's ruining college football. None of that bothers me that much. What bothers me is the freaking Big Ten eating the Pac-12. That bothers me because
The conference realignment stuff is
just
that's the bad part.
It's one thing for a team to change, like Nebraska to switch or Colorado to switch or Arkansas, or whatever. But Texas and Oklahoma, I'm like, I get takes us to 16. That's fine. We needed 16, and they're kind of, they're better than 14 doesn't make any sense. Go back to 12 if you're not going to be 16.
Fine. Let's go back to 10. I don't care.
It works for me. Sign me up. But my point is, I don't have as much a problem with Oklahoma and Texas in the SEC as I do with Oregon and USC in the Big Ten. That's just stupid. It's just dumb. Why don't we get Azerbaijan in the SEC then if geography doesn't matter? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. All right. I had to get that one little bit in at the very bitter end. Any final thoughts as we ride off into the sunset of our first video show in a while? Yay.
I'm sorry the video show didn't come across completely, but we're rolling it out here. And next week, the barbecue. Be ready.
All right. If this happens during the barbecue show, we are stopping everything. We're ejecting you and we're getting you back in. I want that understood, young man.
Aye.
All right. Our time is up. We thank you for yours. War Eagle, John.
War Eagle, man.